Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collegeville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collegeville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collegeville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm on my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chiefin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen,
Yeah.
all the fresh sophomores,
High school,
Jordan,
champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good afternoon, everyone, as we welcome you live to Camelot Bowl here in Collinsville as we begin our coverage of Kahok Bowling for the first time in the 2019-2020 season. I'm Todd Duke. Glad that you're with us here on the Kahok Sports Network. And yes, we do have our laptop back, so we're back to normal things after not having my laptop for 14 days. Well, we all know how that goes. If you've ever been without your piece of electronic equipment for a prolonged period of time, you know that it's a little bit different. So no longer are we live streaming on the Facebook page. We're back to the YouTube channel, so I hope everyone enjoys it as we get you set for this varsity matchup on the boys' side of things between Collinsville and Belleville East. As we welcome you in to the pregame show, sponsored today by my friends at Cullip Jennings Florist. They are a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Cullip Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. Stop in for weekly specials. Right now, just for the next few days, they are trying to sell you all some Thanksgiving dining room table centerpieces. I believe they're $30 if I'm not mistaken, but you can find out more information on that or any other special that Cullip Jennings has going on by giving them a call at 344-0404 or online at cullipjennings.com. Well, Collinsville they come in kind of red hot. They have been bringing it since the beginning of the season. They have won a few of their tournaments that they've been in. Matter of fact, the very first tournament of the year, that was the Heron tournament. They ended up finishing in first place. So how about that? They will be taking on Belleville East. I had some notes here. I can't remember where I put that particular part of it, but at any rate, Collinsville, they already had one of their Southwestern Conference matches. They beat Alton just a couple of days ago, so they're off and running in the Southwestern Conference as well, and they have the first two matches of the Southwestern Conference tournament are in the book, and Collinsville is in first place as of right now. That will conclude a little bit later on next month, so Collinsville off to a pretty good start. First 2 days of that tournament, they ended up in first place, and there's 2 more days left. Those will be coming, as I mentioned, a little bit later on next month as these two teams get ready to warm up here. We'll get our head coach, Sean Hay, to join us in just a little bit. Coach is beginning his 20th season as the head coach of the bowling program, both the boys and the girls. Now, the girls are not starting yet. They are here. They are going to be practicing while the boys' game is going on. But, the girls don't get underway until, I think, next week. I know that we have a girls bowling match set for the 9th of December here at Camelot Bowl, and that'll be versus O'Fallon. But for right now, the girls are just practicing. So we'll cover a little bit more of the girls a little bit later on. Right now, we are going to concentrate on the boys. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll talk things over with Collinsville head coach Sean Hay, and we'll do that here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back to Camelot Bowl here in Collinsville as we are getting you set for this matchup between Collinsville and Belleville East. Joining us now on the pregame program is Collinsville head coach Sean Hay. Coach, if I did my math correctly, this is your 20th year as the head coach for Collinsville the bowling program?
That is correct.
So does it make you feel old when you think about that?
It surprises me, actually. It doesn't seem like I've been doing it. It seems like I've been doing it forever, but at the same token, 20 years seems like a long time to be doing the same thing. So
I would imagine after 20 years, you've got this thing kind of down to a nice even flow and you're not so stressed out. How was it the first year? Were you stressed?
A little bit. I mean, I had to feel my way around. I came from a college program, which is set up with no JV, a little bit different setup. So I had to learn that on the fly, as well as some of the extra paperwork that comes with high school. But the actual physical coaching of bowling, I've definitely gotten the system down to where I can work with a larger group of individuals. So
now, when you first started, did you have both boys and girls, or did you start off with just one?
It started off with both, and I believe at the time they both tried out at the same time. It was early on, and the boys was just a club program, so it was a little bit different than it is today. So now we space it out a little bit, so it's helpful with tryouts. It's also helpful at the end of the season.
Now, when we think of bowling, most people think, okay, you take a ball, you throw it down the lane, you hit some pins. How much has bowling changed in the 20 years you've been doing this?
It's changed quite a bit. Well, first off, the technology within the equipment has grown leaps and bounds. And what's more is the science and the understanding of that technology has grown leaps and bounds. The expectations have gotten higher. Our average is definitely higher than what it used to be. You're also seeing a lot more push. There's a lot more outside agencies that do tournaments and things for the kids. So that there's the opportunity for bowlers to excel is greater today than it ever has been. There's also been a big big push for better sports, better coaching.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about this season that's underway for the boys. I know the girls are getting underway next week, but the boys came out flying, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they did. They've been doing really well. We started off the year with a tournament win in Heron. The ironic thing is we weren't leading that tournament until the last two frames. So we started off a little bit with a game that's not really characteristic of this team. and we were able to climb our way through on very tough lane conditions. It was definitely a grind. So I'd like to see that mental side of these boys. That's something else that I've noticed as the season started is there's no real energy let down. It doesn't matter what's going on. We've had good games, we've had bad games, and if you watch the boys, you can't really tell the difference. And so, if you're not looking up at the score, you have no idea how they're doing. And so that's really been a good thing for this year.
And the Southwestern Conference Tournament, you've already got 2 days in the books. You got 2 more to go next month, but right now the boys sitting first.
They are sitting first, 20 pins ahead of the team we're bowling today. So this is going to be a pretty good match. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
How did you do in Plainfield over the weekend?
Plainfield, we got 6th out of 44 teams, and that was an opportunity for us to kind of get a look at what the rest of the state has to offer. There's one other region that we'd like to see, and we're going to see them this weekend. But we're looking at everything, and we like our chances for sure. Again, we've had my goal is that every time we hit the lanes, we draw something from that, we learn from it, and despite the experience on the team, a lot of these guys were just partial varsity roles last year. Ethan, even though his game's been real solid, he was on and off again in varsity, as was Nathan. Cole Buddy was probably our primary starter at that time. So this is actually a young team when it comes to being on this team here doing this, but they're a very experienced team. Every one of those boys on varsity go to tournaments every month for sure.
Last year's stalwart Ryan Warner, I saw him here. He's
getting balls drilled today,
yeah.
So that works out well.
All right, so you also have already started your Southwestern Conference schedule. You beat Alton the other day.
That is correct. We went into Alton and beat Alton, which is never easy. We came out the gates with a pretty strong game and followed up with 2 games that should have been a little bit better, but Alton is such a unique lane condition, and again, our experience as a group kind of showed that they shot 11-11 the first game and then backed off a little bit. So our hope is that we can maintain those good the good first games and go from there.
All right, you got Belleville East here today. What are you looking for from your guys?
Consistency. That's the one thing is try to minimize the splits and then pick the spares we should. If we do that, we'll come out on top.
All right, sir. Thanks for the visit. We'll talk to you after each match.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. That is Sean Hay, the head coach of the Collinsville Kahawks, and as we mentioned, he's beginning his 20th season, already underway. First 2 years of his records are missing on the IHSA website, so as of right now we have him, and this doesn't include this year, so coming into this year, 154 wins to 68 losses. That's real good, folks. That's a winning percentage of almost 700%, so that almost means that Collinsville is winning 7 out of every 10 matches that they play, and they've had 7 top 10 team finishes in those 20 years that they have been coached by Sean Hay. So Coach Hay has got this program definitely headed in the right direction. As we mentioned, the girls are practicing, and they'll get their season underway next week after the Thanksgiving holidays are over with, and then both teams will be off and running. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Cullip Jennings Flores pregame show. When we come back, we'll set the starters for you, and we'll do that next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Flores, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Flores has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Cullip Jennings Flores is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Flores is there for any life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Flores, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at cullipjennings.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering. wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, welcome back to Camelot Bowl here in Collinsville as we get you set for this matchup between Collinsville and Belleville East. Here are your starters for Collinsville. Hunter Gangle will get the start. He'll bowl in the number 1 position. Hunter so far in the year has knocked down 1,260 pins in 6 games. He has an average of 210, a high game of 238, and a high series of 630. Following him in the rotation will be Logan O'Donnell. Logan has knocked down 382 pins. That just comes in 2 varsity games. He has an average of 191. His high so far has been 213, while his high series has been 382. Bowler number 3 in the lineup for Collinsville is the coach's son, Nathan Hay. 1,171 pins in 6 games so far this year. He's averaging 195, has a high game of 210 and a high series of 595. Ethan Gardner, you heard the coach talking about him in the pregame show. He is bowler number 4 in the rotation in the first match. Ethan has 1,320 pins in 6 games this year. He has an average of 220. His high game so far in the year is 238, and his high series is the highest series of all the bowlers for Collinsville so far this year at 660, and that 238 ties him with Hunter Yangle, but he is a little bit behind the high game of Bryson Hartman, who is going to be playing the JV side of things here in this first matchup. And bowler number 5 for Collinsville in this first match is Cole Buddy. Cole has knocked down 1,268 pins in his 6 games. He's averaging 211, and his high game is 228, and the high series thus far is 634. Now, we do not have all 5 bowlers for Belleville East yet. They were waiting to see, I guess, if one more person was going to show up. So right now, the number 1 bowler is missing. The number 2 bowler for Belleville East is Alex Kester. And They call him Lex. He has 719 pins in 4 games this year with an average of 179. His high game is 204. His high series is 540. Following Alex will be Austin Stager. Austin on the year, 982 pins in 5 games. 196 is his average. 232 is the high game. And the high series is 608. Following young Austin Steiger is Connor McGibney. And for Connor, 1,380 pins down so far in the year. And he has played in 6 games. He's the only one of the starters so far who has played in 6 games. And McGibney's average is 230. High game of 256 and his high series 718. And both the high game and the high series leads his Belleville East brethren. And then we have Brandon Lacey, who rounds out the top 5 for Belleville East. 1,339 pins in 6 games. Sorry, there's another kid that has all 6 games. Average is 223. His high game is 234. And his high series is 540. And as soon as we get the number 1 starter and the final starter for Belleville East, we will, of course, pass that along to you. The JV starters for Collinsville will be Brandon Campbell, Ben Sloan, Cole Buckman, and Mason Foley. Cole Buckman is the younger brother of Crystal Buckman, who played for 4 years for the Collinsville bowling program, and she graduated last year. All right, we are just about ready to go. Our final break coming your way, and when we come back, we'll have some bowling for you. That comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking in the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo's O'Fallon branch office for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon. Call Bill at 618-632-1010. Visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online at fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org. And once again, we welcome you back to Camelot Bowl here on the Kahok Sports Network. We are just about ready to go here between Collinsville and Belleville East. Well, you got to get a little drink of soda here and then stand up on a chair for the next few hours, because if you can't, you can't see. And I still haven't figured out who my fifth bowler is. Who was my fifth bowler?
Leadoff's going to be Richardson.
Richardson? Okay, thank you. So, where am I here? Kyle Richardson. There we go. So Kyle Richardson is the missing bowler. And that is Kyle Richardson in lane 31. The varsity boys, by the way, are on these last 2 lanes up against the wall here. And that is Kyle Richardson, who starts things off with a strike for Belleville East. And now here is Hunter Yangle, who is going to match the same thing over on lane 32, and we are well underway. JV boys are playing right next door. I know you can see their lanes a little bit, but you can't see the actual people coming up. Here is Alex Kester on the left side here, letting his ball go right now for Belleville East, and he leaves the pin up. And now over on the far side, Collinsville back-to-back strikes by Engel and now Logan O'Donnell. As Kester is trying to pick up his lone pin, he does so. So a strike and a spare to start things off with for for Belleville East. Collinsville going for the team turkey, but Nathan Hay leaves up 2 pins as Austin Steger gets ready to bowl on this left side lane for Belleville East. And he'll also leave 2 pins up. The 3 and the 10 pin are what awaits Nathan Hay. As Nathan is ready to go now over on 32. What's up there, Clay Smith? And Nathan just gets the 3 pin, leaves the 10 pin standing. For Austin Steger. He has the 2-4, is that right, or is that the 1-2? That's the 1-2, and he just got both of those to pick up his spare. So 1 open frame for Collinsville. Belleville East has yet to leave an open frame, and here is Ethan Gardner. Ethan over on lane 32 leaves up 3 pins. Connor McGibney ready to go for Belleville East here on lane 31. And he gets a strike. Boy, that 7 pin slid all the way over to the other side and picked up that 10 pin just at the last moment. Here's Ethan Gardner now on 32. Seeing if he can pick up his spare, and he will. And the 5th and final bowler for Belleville East is Brandon Lacey. And Brandon up on 31. Hits them all. And that leaves Cole Buddy here for Collinsville. I'm good. Cole leaves up 3 as well, including, I believe, a sleeper back there if my eyes don't deceive me, which, you know, they do sometimes. And no, I don't think it is a sleeper now that the pins have been lifted. Nope. Just the 6 and the 10 pin for Cole Buddy. Collinsville is going to be 1 pin short here in this first if Cole can pick this up, and he does. And after 1 frame in the book, Belleville East has 50 and Collinsville has 49. Boy, it sure is nice to have the laptop back, especially with all the basketball we have coming up on the horizon. We have 3 basketball games scheduled for you next week. Here is Kyle Richardson, and Richardson with back-to-back strikes to start his game off with. And now here is Hunter Yangle for Collinsville, and Hunter will leave the 10 pin up. Alex Kester getting ready to line things up over on lane 32. No open frames for Belleville East in that first frame. Collinsville had 1. That belonged to Nathan Hay. He left 1 pin up. And now leaving 1 pin up is Alex Kester. Here is Hunter Yangle trying to pick up his 10 pin. He does. And now Alex Kester going to pick up his 7 pin over on lane 32 for a spare. He does. And now Logan O'Donnell here on lane 31 for the Kahawks. Kahawks, of course, dressed in their purple. Collinsville Kahawks written on the backs of their shirts. Bowling shirts, almost called them jerseys. And O'Donnell leaves the 10 pin. 10 pin been a little bugaboo in the side here of the Kahawks early on. Here's Austin Stager over on 32, and he leaves himself with a split. So barring some kind of a precise hit here, Belleville East will have their first open frame. As O'Donnell picks up his 10 pin, Austin Stager is going to have a little work to do to pick up this 2-10 split. It can be done. Stager's ready. And here's that attempt. Got it over on the left side of the 2-pin, but not enough to send it over into the 10, so that's the Lancers' first open frame. Here is Nathan Hay on 31, and he can't get that 10-pin to fall either. Connor McGivney for Belleville East, down 32. And he picks up a strike. Lancers have Belleville East written across the fronts of their bowling shirts. They have their logo on the back. Nathan Hay on lane 31 trying to pick up that 10-pin. Pesky 10-pin it is. And he's going to throw it in the gutter. So Nathan Hay has a couple of open frames here in this first match. Here is Brandon Lacey over on lane 32 for Belleville East. And he will pick up a strike. So right now, the Lancers have the edge over Collinsville as we await Cole Buddy, the final, or excuse me, Ethan Gardner, the fourth bowler in succession. Now he leaves a split too. I believe that's also a 2-10, just like Stager had over there for Belleville East a little while ago. We have a little bit of a malfunction over on lane 32. So that'll set things back a little bit as Ethan Gardner tries to pick up his split, and he will almost succeed. That pin shot right around that 10 pin. The 2-pin did, and did everything but knock it down. Now we got things fixed, I believe. Here is Cole Buddy on lane 31. Still need Brandon Lacey to shoot it up over on lane 32. But first, Cole Buddy for the Kahawks. And he'll leave up that 2-pin as well. First girls bowling match that we'll have for you will be on December the 9th. We have 3 basketball games and a hockey game scheduled for you next week. We're already off and running after having just a couple of hockey games a week to open up the winter portion of the live streaming schedule. Cole Buddy picks up his spare. As we're all finished with frame number 2, and after 2 frames, the Lancers have a lead, 146 to 134. So Collinsville's got some work to do here. Belleville, by the way, coached by Marcus Berriger. Coach Berriger is beginning his 8th year. There is Kyle Richardson on lane number 31 now for the Lancers. And young Mr. Kyle Richardson starts his first matchup against Collinsville with a turkey. There is Hunter Yangle, and he matches. But he has a spare in between. Well, I guess I missed Hunter going. That was Logan O'Donnell that went. At any rate, both Hunter and Logan picked up strikes. And now over here on 31, Alex Kester leaves 1 pin standing. This is the only game we have this week, the only matchup we have this week. As we take a little time off to spend with our families, as Nathan Hay finally figures it out a little bit after 2 open frames. He picks up a strike. And now Alex Kester picking up his spare. There's Ethan Gardner up against the wall over on 32. He lets it go. And that's a strike. Austin Stager on 31 for the Lancers. And he'll pick up a strike. I know most people I've been talking to are just so geeked up and psyched up getting ready for basketball season. Everybody's like, when's basketball season start? You're doing hockey tonight? When's basketball season start? Oh, man, you got bowling? When's basketball season start? That is Cole Buddy over there, who leaves 3 standing up over on the right side. Buddy looking to pick up that 3-6-10, and he does. There is Connor McGivney. Got the red hair to go along with the Irish last name, and he picks up a strike. And he has a turkey. Two players now for the Lancers. Kyle Richardson and McGivney have started off their matches with turkeys. Here is Brandon Lacey, the last bowler to bowl here in frame number 3. And he'll leave himself a split. The 2-10 is still standing up there, as is the 4. Trying to pick up this split, Brandon Lacey. There's that attempt. He'll get the 2 and leave up the 1. So that'll help the Kahawks out a little bit, but the Kahawks are still trailing 260 to 211 right now. After 3 frames are in the books, we switch sides. And Kyle Richardson will begin frame number 4 for Belleville East up against the wall. And he'll pick up a strike, and he'll have 4 to start this match off with. Hunter Angle on 31, lets it fly. He'll match. The Angle has 3 strikes and a spare to his credit. Couldn't quite pick up that last pin on his second frame shot. Picked up the spare, though, or else he would be matching Kyle Richardson ball for ball right now. There's another strike, this one by Alex Kester, and now it's going to be up to Logan O'Donnell for Collinsville. He'll match it. Marcus Berger, by the way, I told you it was his 8th year, the 2014-2015 season. The numbers are missing on the IHSA website. But he's got a couple of, he got 1 regional championship in the 16-17 year, and then 3 sectional championships in the 12-13, and then the following year in the 13-14 year. And that same year they won a regional championship, the 16-17 year. They also won sectional, as Nathan Hay seems to have found his groove, and he now has back-to-back strikes. And now it's going to be up to Ethan Gardner over here on 31. While Austin Steger is trying to pick up his spare over on 32. Kind of almost a mirror spare there from both sides. Oh, wrapped right around that 10 pin. That 6 pin wouldn't hit it, so Steger leaves an open frame. Ethan Gardner trying not to do the same thing here on 31. But he has the 4 and 7 pin on the left-hand side, and he'll take care of both of them. Brandon Lacey over on 32 against the wall for the Lancers. He'll take care of all of them. As Cole Buddy steps up on lane 31, he is the final bowler of frame number 4 here for Collinsville. Speaking of 4, that was 4 strikes in a row for Brandon Lacey. Or excuse me, that was Connor McGibney. Now Brandon Lacey's up. He'll be the last bowler. And he has 3 spares. This time he'll not have to worry about going up there a second time. As Cole Buddy is on 31, trying to pick up his 4 pins that he left up. Oh, that sleeper pin almost didn't want to go down. After 4, Belleville East 368, Collinsville 307. So 61 pins behind are the Kahawks. Back over on 31, Kyle Richardson for the Lancers. He has a perfect game, and as soon as I say that, he leaves up a pin. 4 straight strikes, followed by a 9-packer. Over on the far side, that was Hunter Yangle. And he leaves the 6 and 10. Kyle Richardson on 31 trying to pick up his spare, and he will take care of the pin that was in the gutter, and that's it. And a spare on lane 32 for Hunter Yangle. Here is Alex Kester for the Lancers on 31. He'll take care of all of them. Back-to-back strikes for Kester. That followed his first 3 frames of being all spares. There's Logan O'Donnell on 32 for the Kahawks, and he will knock them all down, and he now has a turkey. 4 strikes and a spare in his first 5 frames, but the last 3 strikes coming in a row. Austin Steyer for the Lancers. On 31 leaves a ugly split. A 4-10. The only thing that's uglier is the 7-10. That was close. Nathan Hay ready to go on 32. And more problems with lane 32. Will suspend play here for just a moment. For Belleville East, they had a 4th place finish in the 07-08 season, and they had a 9th place finisher in the 12-13 season, and that's the only top 10 finishes they've had at the state level since the state started keeping track of this in the 2002-2003 season. Still waiting on something to go on over here on lane 32. In the meanwhile, Austin Steger will try to pick up his 4-10 split. Over on 31. Here's that try. He'll get the 4, but not the 10. And then Connor McGibney will step over here on 31. They shut down lane 32, and they got to do something with it to get it back up and running. Belleville East is just going to wait. Now the lights pop back on 32. For Collinsville, individual medalists, all under Coach Sean Hay. There's a few of them. There's 6 of them. 2 for Marcus Barriger, since he started taking over the bowling program 8 years ago. Nathan Hay leaves that ugly 7-10 split that we were just talking about. Here's McGibney, on 31 for the Lancers. He'll knock them all down. And Nathan Hay has his work cut out for him over on 32. They don't give you 2 balls. Can't use 2. 5 in a row now for Connor McGibney. Here is Nathan Hay trying to pick up that split. He'll miss both of them. Tried hitting that 7-pin on the left-hand side to scoot it over, but missed it. And here is now Brandon Lacey on 31 for the Lancers. He'll leave up the 10-pin. Ethan Gardner on 32 up against the wall for Collinsville. He takes care of all 10. Brandon Lacey will try to pick up that 10-pin on 31, right ahead of Cole Buddy and his first ball on 32. Here's the try for the spare, and that's a spare for Lacey. There is Cole Buddy over on 32. He'll take care of all of them. That'll help Collinsville out a little bit. They are entered this 5th frame, 61 pins behind. Right now, 574 to 529. So they've trimmed that up just a little bit from 61 to 45. So we switch lanes, and Kyle Richardson over on 32 will get the 6th frame started for the Lancers. And he leaves a split. He was on a roll there for a while, had 4 strikes in his first 4 frames. There's Hunter Yangle over on 31. He leaves up 3, but at least it's not a split. Another 4-10 split for the Lancers and Kyle Richardson. He'll just take care of the 4-pin. Hunter Yangle trying to pick up his spare, and he will. Alex Koster on 32 will leave up the 10-pin. Logan O'Donnell ready for 31 for Collinsville. And he'll leave up 3. Individual medalist under Coach Hay for Collinsville. First one, Aaron Delamano in the 03-04 season. He finished in 9th place at state. As over on the far side there, Keister picks up his spare, and now O'Donnell trying to do the same on 31. Jeremy Fleming finished in 8th place in the 04-05 season. Keith Dickerson finished in 10th place in the 05-06 season the following year. Ben Brunsick finished in 4th place, as O'Donnell could not pick up the spare. And then we have some familiar names. Clay Hartman finished in 2nd place just a couple of years ago in the 16-17 season. And then Ryan Warner last year finished in 7th place for Collinsville and Coach Hay. So those are the individual top 10 finishers in the state since the 02-03 season. Nathan Hay has another split. Andy Mank for Belleville East in the 05-06 season finished in 7th. And then the 2 individuals under their current coach, Marcus Barriger. Colton Hess finished in 6th, and Thomas Peters finished in 8th. And both of those did that during the same season, the 2012-2013 season. Here is Hay on 31 trying to pick up a split and a sleeper. He got the sleeper, but couldn't get that 10-pin. So a player or team has represented the Kahawks boys bowler at state in 11 of the previous 19 years that Coach Sean Hay has been the head coach for Collinsville. As Connor McGibney loses his perfect game after 6 straight strikes, he leaves up a pin over on lane 32. Meanwhile, on 31, Ethan Gardner takes care of the whole lot of pins. Here is McGivney trying to pick up his spare, and he does so. Had 5 in a row, not 6 in a row. Had 5 in a row. Now sits at 149. That's not bad through 6 frames. And there's a strike for Cole Buddy. So we head into frame number 7. Collinsville getting a little closer. 551 for Belleville East. 520 now for, Belleville East wasn't finished yet. Well, that'll go up. And a split will help Collinsville out a little bit. Brandon Lacey on 32 picks up the 2 on the right side. And now, after 6 complete frames in the book, 567 for Belleville East, 520 for Collinsville. So the Kahawks 47 pins back. What were they, just 45? So they lost a couple of pins on that frame. So still time to pick it up. We have the beginning of the 7th frame starting right now. And Kyle Richardson for the Lancers on lane 31 lets it fly, and he will pick up a strike. That breaks his back-to-back frames of not having a strike after starting off with 4 straight. Inger couldn't get that last one to fall. Collinsville, regional champs the last 2 years and 4 out of the last 6 years. And they have sent a player to the state tournament in 5 of the last 6 years as well. On 31, that is Alex Kaster, and he leaves up 1 pin. Meanwhile, Hunter Yangle over on 32 will take care of his spare. Kaster on 31. Koster picks up his spare. And for Collinsville, Logan O'Donnell leaves up 3. Austin Stager for the Lancers on 31. Got a red box on my laptop. That's not good. Means I'm dropping frames here. Not bowling frames. Frames on the... Okay. Bryson Hartman coming in for Nathan Hay. Okay, don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi here, but all of a sudden my box that's either green for good to go or yellow for or red for is red. And I don't know why. Looks like I'm not dropping that many frames, though. So far, just 3.4%, so hopefully we're still good. Hopefully it'll keep going. I'm standing on a chair, so I didn't even notice until I looked down. And Ethan Gardner picks up a strike for the Kahawks. And we are finishing up frame number 7. Here is Brandon Lacey for Belleville East, who wipes out all 10 pins. And now Cole Buddy on 32 trying to match. And he does. 7 frames in the book. Lancers lead 645 to 619. So Collinsville has closed it just a little bit more. 26 pins separate the two. Yep, I got knocked off. Now it's been reconnected. And oh man. Turn green, stay green. I don't even understand why that happens. All right, looks like I'm back on. It looks like the box is green, so we'll hopefully keep it there. So I was probably talking for a while and wasn't even on there for a while. You know, there's just some things that are out of your control. Hook up to the internet and expect things to go right. Here on lane 31 for Collinsville, Hunter Yangle. He picks up his spare. Already Kyle Richardson has a strike on 32, so here is Alex Coaster. And he will take care of all of them. Well, Logan O'Donnell coming up now for the Kahawks. And he'll pick up a strike. My box is red again. And I'm disconnected again. Well, I don't know what's going on, folks. I seem to be getting knocked off left and right here now all of a sudden. I do apologize. They told me they got a brand new router, and it's 5G, and it works great, and here I am with another red box. Man, I'll tell you what. You guys want to come and try and do this job for a while? It's not fun sometimes, especially when things happen that are out of your control. Once again, we're back on. I don't even know how many times this is now that we've been knocked off, but eventually I'm going to have to, if this keeps up, I'm going to have to go out and get the thing out of the car and just do it on Facebook. Meanwhile, we're about ready to start the 9th frame, and you know, I just can't keep on looking down at my computer when I'm standing on a chair to see if this thing's on or not. By my count, that's at least 3 times we've been knocked off. All right. Back on my perch and back looking at the board here. 7:45 for Belleville East and 7:36 for Collinsville. So the Kahawks have gotten back to within 9 as we have started frame number 9. As Coach Hay is trotting his way down the alley there and getting rid of a pin that stuck out in the gutter. See, all those times that you thought your kids were going to hurt themselves when they were walking on those curbs trying to balance themselves without falling off. See how all that paid off? Got another red box. Man, oh man. I'm on the admin website too, so I'm not even on the guest Wi-Fi. I wanted to stay off the Wi-Fi that everybody else was hooked up to. So I don't really, I don't understand. And you know what? Before they said they got their new 5G Wi-Fi, I didn't have any problem doing any games last year, except for when my car broke down, obviously. But At this point, I'm not even sure if I'm on. Box is red. Dropped frames are up to 61%. I guess we'll just keep going. Well, now I'm disconnected again. Hi, how we doing? I guess I'm back on again. Not for long. Box just turned red, so tell you what, man. I want to talk about frustrating. You have a 5G network that's supposed to zip, zip, zip through, and I can't even live stream a bowling match without it being knocked off the air. What is that, 5-6 times now? I don't know. At the same time, I'm having problems. They're having problems with the lane here, too, so we're still in the 9th frame. Right now, the Lancers lead 8-14 to 794. Tell you what. And there it goes again. Green, yellow, red, whatever. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop looking. I'm just going to continue to talk like I'm on, and I'm always on. Apparently, there isn't anything I'm going to be able to do about this. 9th frame is where we are. We are at bowler number 4 for both teams. That is Ethan Gardner for Collinsville. Connor McGibney just hit a strike over on 31. Now Gardner will try to match it up over on 32 as we've got a tight first match going here. And Gardner leaves up 3 over on lane 32. 10th frame is going to be huge for these two teams. And a strike over here on lane 31 for the Lancers as Gardner takes care of his spare over on 32. And now Cole Buddy over on lane 32 will be the final bowler of frame number 9 here for Collinsville. Kahawks desperately need a strike here. And they will not get one as Buddy leaves one pin up. And he'll try to pick up the spare as we get ready to head into the 10th and final frame of this first match. Buddy picks it up. And heading into the 10th frame, it is the Lancers 854 and Collinsville 840. So right now the Cahoks just 14 pins behind the Lancers as we enter the all-important 10th frame. Over on 31, leading it off for Collinsville will be Hunter Yangle. Needed nothing but strikes here for Collinsville. And left up that 8 pin. Here is Kyle Richardson for the Lancers, and he'll knock them all down. And now Collinsville's battle just became a little bit more uphill because Kyle Richardson will get 2 more throws while Hunter Yangle is trying to pick up that spare to get that 1 extra. He'll do so as Kyle Richardson readies himself on 32. And that's good. Going for the turkey to close it out. This is 8th strike here in this first matchup for Kyle Richardson. Engel picks up a strike on his final throw. And Kyle Richardson was unable to finish out with a 10th frame turkey. So Engel finishes with a 208 in his first game, while Richardson finishes with a 208, while Engel finishes with a 203. Here is a Logan O'Donnell, and he'll leave up a mess of pins back there on lane 31. Well, Alex Kester will try his luck over on lane 32. Whoa! Got that 10 pin at the last moment. Logan O'Donnell has a mess. Looks like he has the 1-2-10. He'll take care of the 1-2, leave the 10. So an open frame on the 10th frame will give Logan O'Donnell. Okay. A 191. Here is Bryson Hartman, who is taking the place of Nathan Hay in this first match, right in the middle of it. And young Mr. Hartman gets a strike to start off the 10th frame. Second ball on the way for Kester, and he has back-to-back strikes in frame number 10. Matter of fact, that's his 4th in a row. Bryson Hartman ready for his second one on the 10th frame here on 31. He'll take care of back-to-back strikes. Kester on 32. Will leave 1 pin standing, and he'll have a very nice 235 for his first. Bryson Hartman with his last one here on 31. And he'll leave up 2. So combined with Nathan Hay and Bryson Hartman, a 157. Over on 32, leaving a pin up is Austin Steger. As Ethan Gardner gets ready for his first throw here in the 10th frame on lane 31. He'll strike them all. Austin Steger ready down 32. He'll pick up his spare, which will give him a bonus throw. Steiger on 32 will go before Ethan Gardner. It's on the way. And he'll leave one up. Here's Ethan Gardner's second throw. He'll take care of all of them and a chance to strike out the 10th. Steger is finished, and he threw a 157. So that cancels each other out. Third bowlers on each side. Bowled a 157. Here is Gardner. He's up against some stiff competition in Connor McGibney. And Gardner finishes out strongly with 3 strikes to close out the 10th frame. And Gardner ends up with a 212. Here is McGibney. Oh, man. McGibney. I think he willed down that final 10 pin over there. Here's Cole Buddy, the final bowler for Collinsville. As I don't think the Kahawks are going to have enough to pull out a victory here in this first match. Well, Buddy left up 1. Connor McGibney on 32. Did not pick up back-to-back strikes in the 10th. Here's Cole Buddy. Picks up that spare. He'll have one more throw, and then Collinsville's version of this first match will be over. Here is McGivney's final throw, and he will leave one standing. So McGivney will end up with a 253. Right now, that's the high mark here in this first matchup. Here is Cole Buddy's final throw. And he'll leave a split. .218 for Cole Buddy, and Collinsville's going to lose this first matchup, as right now they have 981, and Belleville East is already over 1,000, and they are still bowling as Brandon Lacey leaves up the 10 pin. So the high mark for Collinsville was Cole Buddy's 218. Here is Brandon Lacey trying to pick up his spare to give him one more throw, and he will do that. And one more ball for Brandon Lacey, and this first match will be in the books. Final ball of the first match is a niner. And a 180 for Lacey. 1,033 pins for Belleville East and 981 for Collinsville. So the first one goes to the Lancers. We will take a break. We'll come back and get you set for matchup number 2. And we'll do that here in just a little while on the Kahok Sports Network. Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, the newest in online auctioning. Go to ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's HIBid.com to check out what's up for bid in the next auction. Ogle Auctions deals with everyday items like board games, t-shirts, and more, to collectibles, whether that is a vehicle, vinyl records, or vintage toys. Or how about a trolley car? And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more items. Check out their next online auction at ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's ogleauctionshibid.com. Or call Kim Ogle today at 618-980-4530.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Back here at Camelot Bowl, one match in the books. Match number 2 is underway, and joining us is Collinsville head coach Sean Hay. Things didn't go that well for you in that first match. That was a nice try on the comeback.
Yeah, it was. We got off to a little rough start, and we gave away some points there in the 10th frame too. So it's one of those things where just a little off, just a little flat, and so we're trying to shuffle the lineup here a little bit and get things sparked.
Now you had Nathan Hay bowling third in that first game, and then right in the middle of it, Bryson Hartman come in. Was that your decision or his decision?
No, it was definitely my decision. Yeah, and he agreed to it too. He was going back and forth on ball choice, and then we made the ball choice, and then he was just kind of spraying the ball around. So we had to get someone who could be a little bit more specific, a little bit more accurate. For whatever reason, he's having a little trouble today. So if we have to bring him back in, we can, and usually when that happens, they come back in a lot more focused. But it's all for the team. So you notice that you look at his mood. That's exactly what I was talking about. So I've been able to do that all year long.
Right. Seemed to be a lot of splits in that first matchup.
Yeah, they weren't hitting the break point the way they should have. They were trying to. Well, hold on one second. All right, I just want to see that. They were trying to play a little bit too far inside, and so we sometimes whenever we just get done with the tournament, we get used to playing deep because if it's dry. We come back here on a fresh shot, and sometimes it's almost like a shock. So we're lined up pretty well where we should be, and as long as they get even close to the line, they should be fine.
All right, thanks for the visit. We'll talk to you after the next one.
No problem.
Thank you. That is head coach Sean Hay of your Collinsville Kahawks as they drop the first match 1,033 to 981, and we are underway in matchup number 2. And it looks like that Belleville East did not make any changes. Collinsville did. We have Gardner going first, followed by Hartman, followed by Engel, followed by O'Donnell. And Buddy will bring up the rear as he did in the first matchup. So let me get back up on my perch here and tell you what's going on. Oh, boy. All right, first frame is in the books, and right now Lancers have a lead of 56 to 50. Oh, excuse me, Collinsville has the lead, 59 to 56. For Belleville, that's Alex Kester on 31, and he'll pick up all of them. Over on 32, That's a mess of pins down there. Looks like somebody went down and pushed down the middle and left everything on the sides up. And that's Gardner. And Gardner ready to go. And in the meantime, I'm going to step aside for a second. I'll keep everything up and running, but I'll turn down the sound. Well, I'll keep the sound up. But when you're here or standing on top of a chair for 3 hours, at some point you have to go to the bathroom, right? That's what I'm going to do. Be back in a moment. Hello. Okay. Back up on the perch. We are just about finished with frame number 2 in match number 2. And I believe that was Brandon Lacey over on 31, so frame number 2 all finished for Belleville East. Over here for Collinsville, it is O'Donnell who just picked up a strike, and now it'll be Cole Buddy who will finish out frame number 2 here for Collinsville. And we'll update you on the scores on the pins knocked down. As soon as Cole Buddy finishes up. It's a lot of spin on that ball, man. All right, 2 frames in the book in match number 2. Collinsville out in front by 11 this time, 135 to 124. .52 pin difference in that first matchup, as Gardner knocks them all down on lane 31 to start off frame number 3. And on the same side, Kyle Richardson does the same thing for Belleville East. I don't know if the junior varsity is still on their first match or not. I don't think so. If not, they're already in frame number 7 of the second match. There was Hartman, Bryson Hartman, who came in for Nathan Hay in that first match, right in the middle of it. Leaves up 4. kids on the JV side. Had so much spin on his ball, looked like it was going to go right into the gutter, and at the last second it swung back over to the other side. Here is Hartman on 31 trying to pick up this spare. He does so. That's a lot harder than it looks. Here is Austin Stager for the Lancers on 32. And he'll take care of all of them. Lancers are holding tough here. Engel will take care of all but number 10. McGibney over on 32 had a great game last time. He led all bowlers in that first matchup with a 253, and he has picked up where he's left off by throwing 3 straight strikes here in this second matchup. Hunter Yangle picks up his spare over on 31. And here is Brandon Lacey over on 32 for the Lancers. He'll leave up that 10 pin as well. Meanwhile, O'Donnell steps up for Collinsville on lane 31. And it's on the way. Leaves up the 1, 2, and the 10. Lacey trying to pick up that number 10 pin over on lane 32. He does. And now O'Donnell will try to pick up his spare over here on 31, a little bit more of the scattered pin variety. And he'll take care of it. That was nicely done. That was nicely done. You don't get any extra points for that, though, do you? I never understood why they circled it on the scorecard. Yep, it's a split, but you don't get any extra points if you knock it down. Last bowler here in the third is Cole Buddy. And he will finish up the third frame in style. So after 3 frames in the books here in match number 2, Collinsville has now fallen behind by 3 pins. It's Belleville East 224 and Collinsville 221. There is Ethan Gardner over on 32 trying to get us started on the right foot in this 4th frame, and he does so with a strike. Kyle Richardson bowled a 208 in his first matchup over on 31. He'll knock them all down as well to keep pace with Gardner. Bryson Hartman over on 32, up against the wall. Almost got them all. Alex Kester on 31 for the Lancers. Alex bowled a 235 his first match. That was second best of the 10 bowlers. Hartman trying to pick up that lone pin down there, and he does. That's the one I was talking about, man. You see that thing hug that? That one did go in the gutter that time. One of the JV boys. There is Stager for the Lancers, and he leaves up 1. The angle for Collinsville over on 32 will take care of all of them. Stager trying to pick up his spare on 31 ahead of O'Donnell for Collinsville, and Steger does that. O'Donnell for the Kahawks on 32. Lets it fly. Good to go. Kahawks picking it up here. 3 strikes and a spare in this frame. Here is McGibney for the Lancers. Ooh. That 7-pin did everything but fall. Here's Cole Buddy for Collinsville over on that far lane against the wall. And he'll leave one up. McGibney trying to pick up that 7-pin. He will. One more bowler for the Lancers, and they're going to try to add to their lead. It was a 4-pin lead after the 3rd frame, and I think they just extended it as Cole Buddy hits his spare. Here is Brandon Lacey. Right now it's a 4-pin lead with Lacey still left to go. He'll knock down everything but that 10-pin. And Lacey has a new ball just to pick up 1 pin. And that worked out very well for him. And after 4 frames, it is the Lancers of Belleville East 352 and Collinsville at 329. So a 4-pin lead has now blossomed into a 13-pin lead. So Collinsville, once again, will have to fight from behind. Gardner on 31 lets it fly as the 5th frame is underway. He does so with a strike. Kyle Richardson on 32 for the Lancers. Does the same. Hartman for Collinsville, and back-to-back strikes for Collinsville in the 5th frame. Alex Kester trying the same thing over here for Belleville East on 32. He's a little off the mark, leaves the 5-pin standing. And there you go. Strike for Angle. And Collinsville has started off the 5th frame with 3 straight strikes. Lancers will not do that because Kester just picked up his spare. So that'll help Collinsville get some of those pins back. Need to keep it up here with O'Donnell coming up next for the Kahawks. Oh, can't get that 10-pin to fall. So, Logan O'Donnell trying to pick up that 10-pin. Meanwhile, the Lancers have a spare they have to pick up over on 32 as well. And O'Donnell gets his. Austin Stinger trying to pick up his against the wall. He does as well. Cole Buddy, the anchor bowler here for Collinsville, and he will leave the 10-pin up as well. Connor McGibney, the fourth person in the order for the Lancers, just now stepping up over on 32. And he has a split. That's an ugly one. That looks like the 4-7-10. Buddy trying to pick up that 10 pin. He will. So Collinsville's fifth frame is over. And the Cahoks are still going to be trailing, as McGibney will try to pick up this split. And then Brandon Lacey still has yet to throw, and Collinsville already behind on the board. So McGibney leads one. That helps. But right now, with one bowler left to go, Belleville East has a 446 to 438 lead. And Brandon Lacey, who bowled a 180 in his first match, steps up and becomes the final bowler here in frame number 5. And he'll leave a split. Well, Collinsville's getting some opportunities here to get back into this one. Be back-to-back open frames here by the Lancers if Lacey can't pick up this split. Collinsville had 3 strikes and 2 spares in the 5th frame. And Lacey can only get 2, so we head to the 6th. And Collinsville still trails right now by 22 pins, 460 to 438. Need to close that gap here, as if you end up dropping this second match, you are not going to have a chance to win the night with only one match left after being down 2 matches to none. Here is Ethan Gardner on 32, and there it goes. Man, well, it was a little luck involved, a little will, and that is 4 strikes in a row for Ethan Gardner. Here is Kyle Richardson, and he leaves up 1. So that already helps. Bryson Hartman lines up on 32 now for the Cayhawks. And he'll take care of all of them as well. Richardson trying to pick up his spare on 31. He'll miss it. Hunter Yangle on 32 for Collinsville. Lets it go. And left the 10 pin up. Austin Steger. Oh, excuse me. This is Alex Kester. And he'll take care of all of them. Meanwhile, Yangle trying to, but unable to pick up that 10 pin, excuse me. There is Austin Steger. And young Mr. Steger leaves a couple of pins up, while Logan O'Donnell lets it rip down 32 for the Cayhawks, and he will leave up the 6 and the 10. JV teams just finished up with their second match. Steger down 31 for the Lancers. Takes care of just 1 pin. So that will help if Collinsville can capitalize. Up to O'Donnell. And he'll miss his as well. Connor McGibney gets ready to let it fly down 31. See, Collinsville's already finished with their 5 bowlers, and now we still have McGibney and Lacey here for Belleville East. And another 10 pin that stays up. That has been a theme here this afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were done. Forgot about Cole Buddy. He's over there on 32. He lets it rip, and he leaves up 2. McGibney trying to pick up the 10 pin for the Lancers. Does. And now Buddy trying to pick up his 2 pins for Collinsville over on 32. And he will only pick up 1. So back to back to back open frames here in this 6th. Started off nice with Gardner and Hartman picking up strikes, but then Engel, O'Donnell, and Buddy have open frames. Here is Lacey. He ends the 6th frame for the Lancers with a strike, and that's going to help extend the Lancers' lead. Actually, Collinsville caught up in that frame. And the Kahawks have a slight lead at 448 to 444. Because the Lancers also had a couple of open frames in that 6th as well. Move on to the 7th, and both of these head coaches have huddled with their teams here and trying to see if they can get something figured out. Collinsville lost the first match, so the Kahawks are already down 1-0. And we're back underway. Frame number 7, Kyle Richardson starts it off with a strike. And Gardner matches. On 32, Alex Kester doesn't like that at all. The 4-7-6-10 split staring him in the face. Meanwhile, Hartman ready to go down 31 for Collinsville. And he'll take care of them all as well. So just like the 6th frame, Gardner and Hartman start off with back-to-back strikes. Here is Kester trying to do something with that split, and he'll only take out the 4 and the 7 pin. He'll leave the 6 and the 10 standing. Engel ready to go for Collinsville down 31. There you go. 3 straight strikes to start off frame number 7 for Collinsville. For Engel, that's his 3rd strike here in this 2nd match. Stager over on 32 leaves 3 pins standing, while O'Donnell readies himself on lane 31. And he'll take care of it as well. So Collinsville with 4 straight strikes to start off this 7th frame. That'll put a little pressure on Cole Buddy to try to do the same. Meanwhile, Stenger over on 32 lets it go for the Lancers, and he'll take care of that spare with authority. Cole Buddy led his team in the first match with a 218. He lets it go. And the Kahawks strike out the 7th frame, All 5 bowlers with strikes for the Kahawks. Here is McGibney for the Lancers. He'll leave up the 10 pin. McGibney trying to pick up that 10 pin over there. He will. And Brandon Lacey will close out the 7th frame for the Lancers. Gardner has a strike in every frame except for the second when he had a split. And Lacey leaves the 10 pin up as well. So Brandon Lacey. There's the final throw of frame number 7 here in this second matchup. And after 7 frames are recorded in the books, Collinsville has a lead at 6:38 to 6:19. So the Kahawks have opened up a little bit of a wider lead. It was just 4 pins a moment ago. When everybody strikes in the same frame, that helps. Here's Kyle Richardson getting things started here in frame number 8 for the Lancers. He does so with a strike. Ethan Gardner trying to match over on 32. He can't get that 7 pin to fall. It amazes me sometimes with all that violent action of those pins flying everywhere down there, how one of them just stands up. Alex Kester on lane 31 now, ready to go for the Lancers. He'll take care of all of them as well. So the Lancers are trying a little bit of a comeback here. Gardner will take care of his spare. That's the only non-strike frame here, besides the second one for Gardner. He had left a 5 up and split at that and took care of 4 of the 5. And there's a strike for Bryson Hartman. Here is Alex Steger for the Lancers, and he'll leave up 1. Yanger for Collinsville on 32, and he will pick up another strike for the Kahawks. Stinger trying to pick up his spare over here for the Lancers. He will. As Logan O'Donnell readies himself on lane 32. Every player for Collinsville got a strike in the 7th. And there are 3 here in this 8th. After Ethan Gardner started off with a spare. Connor McGibney ready to go for the Lancers on lane 31. McGibney picks up another strike. That's his 4th here in this second match. Here is Cole Buddy. And he'll take care of all of them as well. So 4 out of the 5 bowlers in this 8th frame picked up strikes for Collinsville. And now Brandon Lacey will try to do the same thing for the Lancers. 3 of their 4 that have already gone have hit strikes. The other one hit a spare. So Lacey steps up, trying to keep his team as close as possible. It's on the way. And almost left up 1. Lacey. Final roll of frame number 8. And he'll take care of it. And after 8, as we head into the 9th frame here in matchup number 2, Collinsville out in front by 50 pins, 757 to 707. Slow and steady wins the race here on this one. Here is Gardner on 31. He lets it rip right out of the gate, and he'll pick up another strike. Kyle Richardson trying to match over on 32. He will. Boys are pushing each other over here, aren't they? Bryson Hartman. Steps up on 31. And lets it fly. That's 2 in a row. That's 4 in a row, or is that 5 for Hartman? 5 in a row. Anger for Collinsville on 31. He'll make them all fall as well. Strikes are falling all over the place here. That's a turkey for young Mr. Yanger, and here is Stager for the Lancers, and he'll leave up the 4 and the 7 pin. Kahawks all strikes in the 7th. 4 out of 5 strikes in the 8th, and now the first 3 have rolled strikes here in the 9th. And now it's time for Logan O'Donnell to get in on the fun, and he does. Austin Stanger ready on 32 to pick up his spare, and he will. Well, Cole Buddy, the anchor bowler for Collinsville, steps up to 31 to finish out the 9th for the Kahawks. And he bowls it right down the middle. Got too much of the head pin. Leaves 4 standing. Meanwhile, Connor McGibney over on 32 for the Lancers will let it fly. He'll take care of all of them. Buddy trying to pick up his spare on 31, and he will leave that sleeper pin. So the only open frame for Collinsville since back-to-back open frames in the 6th. Back-to-back-to-back open frames, actually. There is Brandon Lacey, and he'll take care of all of them, so the Lancers will probably get a little closer as we head into the 10th frame. Right now, Collinsville up 891 to 815. So a nice size lead. All you have to do is hold it together here in frame number 10. As Ethan Gardner will lead us off in this 10th and final frame of match number 2 of 3. Over against the wall on 32, and he'll take care of it. And still so far, Gardner has only not had a strike in 2 frames. That would be the 2nd and the 8th. Not open, but not strike. Had an open frame in the 2nd, spared in the 8th. As Gardner looks for the 10th frame turkey. And he'll mow down the left side, keep 3 up on the right side. Second ball on the way from Kyle Richardson for the Lancers. He'll pick up a spare and have 1 extra coming his way. Gardner trying to pick up a spare here to end his 2nd match. Gardner bowled a 212 in his 1st match. He's already at 231, and he'll pick up that spare to end his 2nd match at a 234. And a strike for Kyle Richardson. We'll give him a 220, so he betters his first mark of 208. Bryson Hartman, who came in and finished up for Nathan Hay, will have this one in his own name. He'll have a strike. How about that? That's a six-pack of strikes there for Bryson Hartman. Here is Alex Kester on 31. He'll leave the 10-pin up. Hartman ready for his second throw down lane 32 on this 10th frame in match number 2. And he'll hit them all again. That's 7 in a row now for young Mr. Hartman. Kester on 32. Trying to pick up his spare to give himself an extra throw. And he does. Meanwhile, Bryson Hartman trying to close it out with 8 strikes in a row. And he does not. He'll leave up the 2, but hey, that is a stellar game for young Mr. Hartman there. A 245. So far, the highest game for Collinsville is that 245. Connor McGibney had a 253 for Belleville East in that first match. Here's the final ball for Kester, and he'll pick up a strike. And he'll end his second game with a 203. That's a little bit off in a 235 mark that he had in that first frame. Meanwhile, over here on 32, Hunter Yangle leaves up the 10-pin. Hunter bowled a 157 his first match, and right now he's at a 192 with still one more at least left to throw. We're hoping 2 after he picks up this 10-pin, which is going to happen right now. Austin Steger ready for his first one here in the 10th, down 31. He'll leave up the 7-pin. So one more throw coming up for Hunter Yangle. And he'll leave up 1. Still not a bad game, though. Hunter bowled a 203 in his first game and matches it here with another 203. Talk about consistency. Austin Steger trying to pick up that 7-pin down there on 31, right ahead of Logan O'Donnell throwing for Collinsville on 32. And he misses. No extra ball for Austin Steger, and he finishes up that game with a 171, which is better than the 157 he had. And O'Donnell picks up a strike, and that is 4 in a row for him. Connor McGibney, who led all bowlers with a 253 in that first matchup. He's not going to hit that here tonight, in this second match anyway. He will take care of the first set and have a couple of extras. Meanwhile, O'Donnell throws the first of his 2 extras. Oh, left up the 4-pin. So, Logan O'Donnell will throw his last one down 32. pick up a spare to close things out, and he will end up with a 222. That was better than his 191 that he threw in the first matchup. So Cole Buddy will line up over on 32. And he'll let it rip. Leaves up 2. McGibney. His final throw here in this second match. Back-to-back strikes here in the 10th. He has 4 in a row now, looking for number 5 here. And he'll take care of that. And while it wasn't a 253, a 234 is nothing to sneeze at. That's what McGibney ended up with for his second match. Here is Buddy, and he missed the mark. So Cole Buddy will go from a 218 to a 178. And Brandon Lacey becomes the final bowler here in the second match. And he'll take care of the first set of 10. And Brandon Lacey ready for his second in frame number 10. And he'll pick up another strike. And a turkey now for Lacey, who bowled a 180 his first time up. He's matched that as of right now. So if he throws a gutter ball, he'll have back-to-back 180 games, but I don't anticipate that happening. It's on the way, and he'll strike out that 10th frame and end up with 4 in a row, and he'll take that up to a 190. So second match belongs to Collinsville. 1,082 pins to 1,018 for Belleville. So each team has picked up a victory, and we are on to match number 3 after we pay some bills a little bit. We'll be back with match number 3 in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network. The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune has now added Collinsville to their coverage area this year, including coverage of City Hall, happenings in Collinsville, as well as coverage of the Unit 10 schools and the Collinsville Kahawks, plus more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper that is published every Thursday and has been reporting news and sports in Madison County for over 30 years. Subscriptions are only $32 for an entire year, delivered to your home and the online edition. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at www.timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Troy Times-Tribune.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
And once again, we welcome you back to Camelot Bowl as Collinsville came back in that second matchup. And they put a victory on the board as these two teams now are tied at 1 apiece as we head to the third and final matchup of the night. Sean Hay, the Collinsville head coach, joins us. Well, that's a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. We just we weren't exuding the same energy like I'd mentioned we had before, and just pulled them aside. And actually, the game we were bowling wasn't bad. We had basically 3 frames that were not very good. That as a team just got a little bit more focused, a little bit, got a little bit more energy going, and they finished like they should.
Yeah, it seemed like once you did pull them aside, that 7th frame, all 5 of them had strikes. And then the next frame, I think 4 out of the 5 had strikes. And then the next frame, 3 of the 5. So you did whatever you said worked, man.
Well, it just basically went back to our core principles that we've been working with all year long. Just got to remind them of it. So,
how tough are these third and final matches, man? How are the arms feeling about this point?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How are the arms feeling about this point when you get to that 3rd and final match?
Actually, to be honest with you, we bowl a lot. We probably put more games in practice than we do on the matches. So they should be ready to go.
So the arms are all built up?
They should be.
So one's like really big and muscular and the other one's skinny?
You can usually identify a bowler, look at their forearms, and it'll tell you.
All right, Coach. Go get him in the 3rd one.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Sean Hay of your Collinsville Kahawks. As we are underway here in match number 3, I am going to step aside for a minute and take care of some personal business. And I'll be back in just a moment here on the Kahawk Sports Network, but we'll leave everything up for you to watch. Well, hello. Just about ready to finish up this first frame here of this last matchup. Each team has won 1, and we are on the 3rd and final match. So winner take all here. No change in either one of the lineups. So we'll catch up here in just a second. Stand up and find out what's going on. This is Lacey over on 31. He's the last bowler here in frame number 1 for Belleville East. Collinsville, they're finished with their first frame. They had a strike, 2 opens, and a spare. Here is Brandon Lacey trying to pick up a spare for the Lancers, who also had a couple of open frames in that first one as well. So after the first frame, Collinsville has a 1-point lead, or 1-pin lead, 48-47. There is Kyle Richardson over against the wall. He will take care of all of them. And now Gardner steps up here for the Kahawks. Gardner had a 234 in his last game, bowled a 212 in his first. And Gardner starts off this 3rd match with back-to-back strikes. Alex Kester over on 32. Lets it fly. He had a strike his first time up. And does the same in frame number 2. Hartman for Collinsville in number 31, and he'll take care of all of them as well. Well, it'll help make him feel a little better about the open frame in the first. Both Hartman and Yangle had open frames. They had 9 and couldn't pick up the last one. Meanwhile, Alex Steger for the Lancers picks up a strike over on 32. So the Lancers, 3 straight strikes here in the second frame to start off with, as Collinsville trying to match it, and they do. There is Connor McGibney for the Lancers on 32, and the strikes continue to roll. You know, if we throw more strikes, the faster the games go, right? So Logan O'Donnell will try to keep the strike train rolling here. Here's his effort, and he will do the same. Pressure is put on the anchor bowlers. Brandon Lacey steps up over on 32 for the Lancers. He'll let it go, and he will take care of all of them. And now Cole Buddy doesn't want to be left out of the fun, as he will try to make it 10 strikes from 10 players here in this second frame. It's on the way, and we have 10 straight strikes by 10 straight bowlers, and Collinsville still has a 1-pin lead, 128 to 127. Frame number 3 coming up. Gardner will get things started here in this third frame for Collinsville on 32 against the wall, and it's on the way. And, oh, man, that 10-pin moved just a little bit but did not fall, as Gardner was going for a turkey to start off with, and that's exactly what Kyle Richardson does. Oh, excuse me, Richardson had an open frame in his first frame, so never mind. So Gardner has that 10-pin to pick up. He will do that, as Alex Kester steps up here for the Lancers on 31. Kester looking for a turkey to start off this game, and he's not going to get it. He'll leave the 4-pin standing. Bryson Hartman ready over on the lane against the wall. It's on the way. And good. Back-to-back strikes for Bri. That's what they call him here. Oh, meanwhile, Alex Kester picks up his spare. So each team with a strike and a spare to start off frame number 3, as they keep this one tight. Hunter Yangle on lane 32. Nope, going to give way now for Austin Steger on 31 instead. Steger leaves up the left side, leaves up 4. Yangle, excuse me. He will leave up 2. I don't think I've had much problems with my frames dropping here since early in that midway through that first matchup. This place is almost empty, so it can't be people draining the Wi-Fi. Besides that, I'm on the admin Wi-Fi. I'm not even on the guest Wi-Fi. The Angle picks up his spare as Stinger tries to pick his up. He does so, as these two teams are staying head-to-head here. So that brings up Logan O'Donnell on lane 32. O'Donnell looking to start off with a turkey here in this third and final matchup. And he can't get that 10 pin to fall. Here is McGibney for Belleville. And the Lancers pick up another strike. O'Donnell trying to pick up that 10 pin. Nope, not going to get it. That one went right down the middle. Never did veer off to the right at all. So not only could he not pick up a turkey to start the game, he has an open frame here in frame number 3. While Brandon Lacey is ready over on 31. He'll leave up 1. Collinsville is going to be trailing after this third frame. Oh, all of them fall down for Cole Buddy. Collinsville needed that one. And a spare picked up by Brandon Lacey will send us into the 4th frame with Collinsville. Well, they're still in the lead, are the Kahawks, 244 to 236. Two strikes, 2 spares, and an open in that third frame for Collinsville. There is Gardner on 31, and for some reason that 4 pin won't fall. 4 pin and the 10 pin seems to be the 2 pins that stay up. Kyle Richardson over on 32 will take care of the 4 pin. That was the last pin to fall. Turkey for Kyle Richardson. Here's Gardner trying to pick up his spare on 31. He will. Well, Alex Kester steps up over on 32 for the Lancers. He'll leave up 2. This is the only sporting event we have for you this week. The original boys bowling schedule had these two teams meeting each other right back here on Wednesday. And after I made out my entire winter live stream schedule, I looked back on their schedule and that game was no longer there. So, and as I said, I already made out my entire schedule and I didn't have anywhere else I could squeeze another bowling match into, so we'll do 2 boys this year and 3 girls. And we'll try to make up for it next year. Ugly split. Sits there waiting for Hartman, and he'll take out the right side, leave the left side up. And he'll only get 8 pins on that go-round. Meanwhile, Austin Stinger, he does the same thing. Leaves himself a split. We were rolling right along there for a while. Oh. The Angle couldn't get that last pin to drop. Steger has that ugly mess in front of him over on 32. It is doable. Got to hit those things just right. Ooh, almost. Leaves 1 standing. Speaking of 1 standing, Hunter Yangle has 1 to get, and he will. Connor McGibney ready to go over on lane 32. On the way. And leaves up the 4. O'Donnell on 31 for the Kahawks. It's them all to fall down. JV teams are done. They've played all 3 of their matches. Looks like Collinsville won that last one, 745 to 736. But I'll wait for the official ruling. Here's McGibney over on 32, and he's good to go. Picks up that spare as we are close to finishing up frame number 4 here. Here is Cole Buddy on 31. And he'll take care of all of them again. Brandon Lacey. Ready on 32. Mows down the left side, keeps 3 up on the right side. Collinsville will retain their lead. Right now they have a 1-pin lead. Well, they might not. Never mind. And taking care of that spare was Brandon Lacey. So as we head to the 5th frame, Collinsville now trails by 2 pins, 345 to 343. As we shift sides and are ready to go, as we have reached the halfway frame. Richardson keeps one up. Gardner gets them all. Richardson going for the spare on 31. He'll pick that one up. Bryson Hartman ready on 32. So right now the only bowling going on in this whole establishment is right here. Down 31. Alex Keister knocks them all down. Meanwhile, Hartman trying to pick up that 10 pin over there in the corner. He does. With all these people gone, I might be able to sit. Here is Austin Steger for the Lancers on 31. Ooh. On 32. Angle with a sleeper. Yingle will go first on 32, and he will not pick up the pin behind as Austin Steger tries to pick up the split. He will split him right in between the 10 pin and the 1 pin. So Logan O'Donnell up now on 32 for the Kahawks. And he leaves the split. Connor McGibney on 31 for the Lancers. He'll leave up 1. So O'Donnell will go try to pick up that split on 32. The 6-10-4. Hit that 6 on the side and shoot it over to the 4, but didn't quite get there. Gibney trying to pick up his spare on 31 here for the Lancers. He will. As Cole Buddy, the fifth and final bowler for Collinsville, readies himself on 32. That's good. And now Brandon Lacey on lane 31 for the Lancers will close out the fifth frame. He'll do so with a strike, and the fifth frame is in the books. And as we head into frame number 6, Collinsville now trails by 2, 440 to 438. We're halfway through, another half to go, and this is when Collinsville picked it up in that last match, was in the second half. Here is Kyle Richardson over on 32. He'll start it off with a strike. So now Ethan Gardner trying the same thing over here on 31, and he will leave a, almost left a split. I think I can get down now. Oh, how about that? I get to sit. Gardner picks up his spare on 31. And over on 32, it'll be Alex Kester trying to pick up his spare. He'll pick up one. It was a small split, but still counts as a split. While Hartman picks up all of them on 31. Bry. Guessing another grandchild of the owner of this establishment, Diane Hartman. Told you about Clay Hartman finishing in second a couple of years ago. He has since graduated and is enjoying the college life. And a Engel will pick up a strike as well. Collinsville trailed by 2 pins at the end of the fifth frame. We're now in the sixth, and Collinsville is trying to pick it up here. Over on 32, that is another spare that is missed. This one by Austin Steger. There is O'Donnell on 31 for Collinsville, and he'll pick up a strike as well. 3 strikes and a spare so far here in this sixth frame for Collinsville, with just Cole Buddy left to play. Here is Connor McGibney over on 32 for the Lancers, and he'll leave up 4. Cole Buddy, fifth and final bowler for Collinsville here in this sixth frame. He'll take care of all of them as well. 5 in a row for Cole Buddy. McGivney trying to pick up that spare, and he does. That's a nice pickup. As we await on Brandon Lacey to close out this sixth frame. Collinsville had 4 straight strikes in that frame after Gardner started us off with a spare, and Brandon Lacey is going to have to try to do the same thing as he left the 10 pin up over there on lane 32. All right, now Collinsville has a lead, and they'll retain that lead even if Lacey picks up this 1 pin, which he will. And right now, Collinsville leading 528 to 523. So a 5-pin lead. Richardson leaves one as we are underway here in frame number 7. Belleville East won the first matchup by 52 pins. Collinsville won the second matchup by 74. Richardson going for the spare over here for the Lancers on 31. And he'll get it. Gardner has one more pin than that to pick up over on 32. As Ethan is stuck with the 6 and the 10 pin. He'll take care of both. Alex Kester on 31 for the Lancers will throw first. He'll leave the 10 pin. Bryson Hartman down 32 for the Kahawks. He'll leave more than the 10 pin. He'll leave up the 3, 6, and the 10. Down 31 is Kester, and he'll take care of that spare. And now Hartman will try the same thing over on 32. He just has a couple more pins to deal with. Oh, only got the 1. That's going to hurt. Austin Steger ready in 31 for the Lancers. That's good for a strike. And now the angle for Collinsville Lancers with a strike. There is Connor McGibney for Belleville East. He'll take care of that strike. McGibney has the highest game so far here tonight with a 253 in his first match. He rolled a 234 in his second. And on 32, there is a strike for O'Donnell. Back-to-back strikes for Logan. Brandon Lacey leaving the 10 pin, while Cole Buddy is ready on 32. Yeah, he'll leave that 10 pin up. Both of them did. So Lacey will go for his first. And he'll leave it down the middle, just a little bit off to the right, but not far enough to pick up that 10 pin. So we'll see if Buddy can help his teammates out by picking up this spare. Collinsville will retain the lead after this frame. And Buddy takes care of it as we head into the 8th. Collinsville up 631 to 601. So a 30-pin lead here for the Kahawks as we have the 8th, 9th, and 10th left to go. Gardner not wasting any time on 31. He lets it rip, and he'll leave up that 4-pin. Richardson lets it rip down 32. He'll almost lift up the same pin, but one of the back pins came sliding back in and knocked it down. So Gardner trying to pick up his spare. He will. As Alex Kester gets ready on lane 32 for Belleville East. Yeah. Picks up a strike. Back-to-back strikes for the Lancers. Here is Hartman for Collinsville down 31. Uh-oh. That one never did recover from the far left side. Now we have a sleeper and a split. 7-pin sits back in that corner while the 1 and the 5 remain right out front. There is Austin Steger for the Lancers, and he'll leave up a pin on the right side as well. Hartman down 31, trying to pick up this split, and he'll leave it off to the right-hand side again and miss them all. Steger has 1 pin to get over on 32 for the Lancers. Open 4-11 here on Thanksgiving Day, so after you eat all that turkey. Noon to 11. There's a nice pickup by Hunter Yangle for Collinsville on 31, while Connor McGibney over on 32 lets it fly. He'll leave 3 standing. I believe we went bowling once after Thanksgiving dinner, maybe 10 years ago or so. There's O'Donnell for Collinsville on lane 31. He'll leave up the 10 pin. McGibney over on lane 32 for the Lancers, trying to pick up a 3-pin spare. And he will. O'Donnell trying to pick up that 10 pin. He will. While Brandon Lacey readies for his first throw here in this 8th frame on lane 32, and he will leave up that 4 pin. While Cole Buddy steps up for the Kahawks on lane 31 here. Lets it fly, and that spin takes it right back to the middle, and he takes care of all of them, does Cole Buddy. And that brings up Brandon Lacey as the final bowler here in frame number 8. He'll take care of that spare. And as we head into the 9th frame, Collinsville up 736 to 691. So we head to the 9th frame. And it will be Ethan Gardner on lane 32 to get us going. Ethan started off strong with 2 strikes and a couple of spares, then followed by a strike. And matter of fact, he hasn't had an open frame here in this 3rd and final matchup. He's going to have some work to do on this one. He has 4 of them left over there. They're all bunched in the right-hand side, so it should be easy enough. Meanwhile, Kyle Richardson leaves a couple up for the Lancers as well. Gardner can't get them all to fall. Kyle Richardson will try the same over here, and he leaves up 1 as well. Bryson Hartman over on 32 for Collinsville. He'll take care of them all. Alex Kester on 31 for the Lancers. Oh, 7-pin fell just at the last second. There is the angle, and he can't get that 7-pin to fall. Austin Steger now for the Lancers. He'll take care of them all. Lancers try to make this comeback. Over on 32, Yangle picks up his spare. So now we have Connor McGibney on 31 for the Lancers, while O'Donnell gets ready over on 32 for Collinsville. First McGibney. He'll take care of all of them. And O'Donnell would like to match. There's O'Donnell's throw. Good to go. So now Cole Buddy and Brandon Lacey will finish up the 9th frame here. It'll be Lacey first here on 31. Collinsville will finish up on this near side lane. And the 10 pin remains standing for Brandon Lacey. Cole Buddy over on the far side does not have an open frame in this game as well. 5 strikes in the middle of 2 spares. And he'll take care of all of them and go on to the 10th. Brandon Lacey. One more throw coming in the 9th, and then we'll all be in the 10th. Lacey takes care of that. As we head to the 10th and final frame, Collinsville up on top, 830 to 788. So a 42-pin lead for the Kahawks. Richardson leads it off on 32 and leaves one standing. Gardner on 31 for Collinsville. The all-important 10th frame. Get over there. Nope. 6 pin stays up. 4 pin stays up for Richardson. He'll try to knock it down right now. He will. So one more throw coming his way. Gardner will try to match. He does. So Richardson will get the first crack at the extra ball. And then his night will be over. He'll end his night in fine fashion. Richardson ends up with a 196. First time he's been below 200 here tonight. Here is Gardner's final throw of the evening. He'll take care of all of them. And Gardner will end up with a 190. Gardner had a 212, then a 234, and finishes up with the 190. Here is Alex Kester. Kester takes care of all of them. Hartman on 31 for Collinsville. He will also take care of all of them. Kester over on 32. Has 2 more coming his way. Leaves the 2 over in the far side, the 6 and the 10. Logan O'Donnell takes care of the second one, and he'll have a bonus coming up. Last ball for Alex Kester of the evening. Over on lane 32, coming down right now. He'll take care of the spare. And Alex had a 235 and a 203. Ends this one with a 213. Hartman. One final throw coming his way. He'll leave up 3. And Hartman will end up with a 170. Far off his 245 that he threw the last game. Austin Steger with his first try over on 32 here in the 10th will also leave up the 6 and the 10. While Hunter, the angle. Will throw here down 31. Well, at least that 7-pin went down because that 6 and 10 were going to stay. Avoids the split. And each player has the 6-10 left standing. And now he angle with his final throw tonight will leave 2 up. Hunter will end up with a 190 in this third and final game. Speaking of final, here is Austin Stinger's final throw. He'll leave up 1. And ends up with a 148 in the third and final game. We're down to 2 bowlers on each side for Collinsville. That's Logan O'Donnell on 31. He'll throw first. He'll leave up 2 on the left side, 4 and the 7. McGibney. Man, that pin went did everything but knock down the 2 that remain standing. So O'Donnell and McGibney leave 2. O'Donnell first. Trying for the extra throw, and he'll miss the 4. Knock down the 7, and that'll do it for O'Donnell's night, as he will end up with a 182. 40 pins off the mark from his last game. McGibney takes care of his, and he'll end up with a 194. He went the wrong direction all 3 games. Started out with a 253, then a 234, then a 194. Here's Cole Buddy, final representative of the night, wearing the purple and the white. And Brandon Lacey over on 32, the final answer thrower of the night. Oh, after McGibney throws 1 more, sorry. So we're not done. Well, 204 sounds better than a 194. Cole Buddy trying to pick up his spare. He will. And he'll have 1 final throw. Brandon Lacey. His first one down 32 is good for 7. And 1 final throw coming for Cole Buddy, who has already plastered his first mark and his second mark. He'll take care of all of them. That's a nice way to end. And Buddy will end up with a 247. Not too bad. Meanwhile, here is Lacey. He'll take care of that spare, and he'll have 1 more coming his way. Collinsville ends up with a 979 here. As Lacey throws down the final ball of the night. He'll take down 7, leave up 3, and that will give him a 178 on the night. Collinsville wins this final one, 979 to 939. And that means the Kahawks will win the night. After dropping the first match, they pick up the final 2 matches as we now transition ourselves into the post-game show, brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by my friend Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville, or give them a call at 343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Sloan's Pub House in Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House is now into their third year of operation on Main Street in Uptown Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House offers daily lunch and dinner specials that feature homemade pizza, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Sloan's Pub House offers a great variety of craft libations for you adults, as well as a great brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Sloan's Pub House, 119 West Main Street in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-855-9100 or online at sloanspubhouse.com.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
Anyway, welcome you back to Camelot Bowl here on the Kahok Sports Network and back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show. Collinsville wins here tonight. They down Belleville East 2 matches to 1 as Collinsville head coach Sean Hay joins us now on the post-game show. That was a nice comeback effort there by your kids after dropping that first match.
Definitely. What we need to teach them now is that we don't always have to come from behind.
That's always nice. Very impressed with Cole Buddy. I know he started off kind of slow with a 218 and then dropped it even lower in that second match, but boy, he came back strong in that third match.
He did, and that's what you expect a lot of times of your seniors with experience for sure.
And Ethan Gardner, he had his typical night. I'm so impressed with the way the guy, the force behind the throw that he throws the ball down there, and then he'll come up another time and he'll finesse it down there.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that we've got a 4 set principles that we're trying to hammer down, and one of them is aggressive and relentless. And so that's one of the things that when you have game like him and you can rev up the ball like he can, you can't just back off of a shot because it's going to make you pay.
And you told me about the young kid too, and I got to see him, Yengel.
Yep.
He's pretty good.
Actually, he's not young; he's a senior.
Oh, I'm sorry,
but his name
he's still young to me.
To me too, unfortunately. Yeah, he's been pretty rock steady for most of the year.
All right, so I want to talk to you about your girls' team. I know you're in the process of still practicing with them. They have another week or a little bit more before they actually start up firing up on all cylinders. But talk to me about the girls' team this year. I know you kind of lost a lot from last couple of years.
Oh, we lost, from 2 years ago, Haley Gardner, and then last year we lost Time Sampson and Crystal Buckman. But we kept a big core of them still intact, and they all attacked the sport all summer long. They really got after it. I know you hear me say that, but I mean, they probably more than any team I've had in the past really got after, started doing lots of tournaments, started practicing like I've never seen a group of kids. They came back from the state finals and practiced that night. We drove home and they came out and practiced. I mean, they were energized by what they saw, and they know what they want for this year. And so they've all been putting in the time, and they're the main core of that group that we had last year that was at state that returned, they're ready to go.
Yeah, that sounds impressive enough in its own, because you just played your very last game of the season, and you're already starting to think about next year with the very next day.
They did, and they all went out of their way to make plans to bowl often and make sure that they had eyes on them to help them stay focused, and they upgraded equipment. We've got one girl who actually is part of a program now with one of the ball companies that it's not really a sponsorship, but it allows her to get equipment a little bit discounted.
Right.
So they don't just give it to anybody. They have to hand select it. So I'll be interested to see how that works for her.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Sure.
We have the girls on December the 9th, so not too far away. You have a great night and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right, thank you. That is head coach Sean Hay of your Collinsville Kahok boys bowling and girls bowling, but the boys we were focusing on tonight as they win here 2 matches to 1. That is going to do it for us from Camelot Bowl. And this is our only live stream this week, as we are going to take some time off and enjoy family and the Thanksgiving holiday as well. So we won't talk to you again until Monday, and then it'll be basketball time, kids. Boys and girls basketball teams tipping off. Well, they already did, actually. At 6 o'clock was their opening tip-offs, both of them. And as soon as we get some finals, of course, we will pass those along to you. But our next live stream is 1 week from today. That'll be the girls' home opener at Fletcher Gymnasium against Civic Memorial. Game time is set for 7:30, so we'll be on the air around 7:10 or so with the pregame show. Of course, it always depends on the length of the JV game that'll take place before. So until then, a big thank you to Sean Hay. He's the head coach of the Collinsville Kahok Bowlers. My name is Todd Duke, and we'll talk to you Monday. In between now and then, I wish all of my Kahok family a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you on Monday